The Toronto Blue Jays head for a 5-game series against Texas after a nail-biting game ends in overtime. East Florida prepares for the worst after Hurricane Matthew slams Haiti, Jamaica, and Cuba. And the vice presidential nominees defend their candidates, sparring over insult-driven campaigns.
Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Brandon Richard Austin, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. All the Blue Jays needed was a deep fly ball, but Encarnacion went a little deeper.
There's a try to deep left field, and the ball game is over.
A sold-out hometown crowd watched last night's do-or-die game against the Baltimore Orioles, and Encarnacion was the hero of the night. His 3-run 11th-inning homer lifted Toronto to a 5-2 win. And the Jays now go on to the American League Division Series with rival Texas Rangers for the second year in a row.
Luckily in the end, we came out with a huge hit, obviously by Eddie, who's been huge for us all year. But it was a complete team effort. You know what I mean? We got so many contributions from everybody on the defense, and a couple of timely hits that we needed. And obviously the bullpen was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Biagini, Grilli, Osuna, and then Liriano coming out and being absolutely nasty. So complete team effort, and I love this team, and I'm excited for the next round.
Stick around, we'll have all your details coming up in sports. United Nations officials are calling Hurricane Matthew the largest humanitarian event to hit Haiti since the earthquake in 2010. The Category 4 hurricane has displaced much of the country's population, and it isn't over yet. 10,000 people are living in shelters in the wake of Hurricane Matthew. Between Haiti and the neighboring Dominican Republic, Hurricane Matthew killed 11 people after making landfall. Relief officials say millions of people may need help. UNICEF says more than 4 million children are at risk. Hurricane Matthew is expected to make landfall in the Bahamas today before hitting the U.S. on Thursday. Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas are bracing for the storm. The U.S. vice presidential candidates have held the only VP debate happening this election season. Democrat Tim Kaine and Republican Mike Pence met last night in Farmville. Comes a little more than a week after the first debate between presidential nominees Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The presidential running mates fielded a wide range of questions, from foreign affairs to Trump's tax returns. Here's a selection of some of the talking points.
He went through a very difficult time, but he used the tax code just the way it's supposed to be used, and he did it brilliantly.
How do you know that? You haven't seen his tax return.
I need to ask you about Social Security.
Richard Nixon released tax returns when he was under audit.
They're going to raise your taxes.
Gentlemen, if you can't meet the Nixon standard,
the people at home cannot understand either one of you when you speak over each other.
If you don't know the difference between dictatorship and leadership, then you got to go back to a 5th grade civics class.
A few seconds to respond, and I have a question on
Critics say neither side scored a win that would shake up the current standings in polls. Clinton and Trump will meet for their second debate this Sunday. Scottish, French, and Dutch-born scientists have won the 2016 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. They teamed up to invent molecular machines.
2016 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, jointly to Jean-Pierre Sauvage, Sir James Fraser Stoddart, and Bernard L. Feringa.
The scientists invented a molecular lift and artificial muscles and minuscule motors which are 1,000 times thinner than a strand of human hair. They can slip inside the human body to construct protein and divide cells. The process of creating molecular machines began in 1994. A secret kept by the Vatican has brought a little peace to central Italy. Pope Francis made a surprise visit to earthquake victims in Italy. Francis walked through the rubble in affected neighborhoods. He visited children at a makeshift school along with a retirement home nearby. Pope says he just wanted a private visit as Pope, Bishop, and priest to be close to the people. The earthquake struck more than a month ago, killing nearly 300 people. Some breaking news out of Humber College today, where Ignite is holding its first open information session. Students are hammering staff from the Student Federation with questions about its recent rebranding. Arian Amor de los Reyes was there and has this report.
Student Affairs, by the way, which I was fired from during the elections, in our portfolio as specifically marginalized groups.
The Ignite executives were in the hot seat as they answered several questions about the rebranding. Ignite's Ahmed Tahir and Ammar Abdul Rahim took over the show as most questions were directed to the president and vice president.
Which is important.
Emotions weren't held back as many had tough questions for the executives.
I was asking honest questions for many students.
Answer her question about the mental health piece. Humber College has
And even after the event wrapped up, the battle went on between former HSF presidential candidate Mickey Decker and executive director Ercole Perron. The two argued about Decker's disqualification, mental health, and Ignite's inner workings.
For Ignite, for HSF, which has not been.
Yeah.
With the Ignite brand on question, there are still many students with plenty of things to be answered for. The next meeting will be at October 19th. Ariana Mordelis Reyes, Humber News.
A new study says millennials are not proud to be Canadian. The study was conducted by the CBC and Angus Reid. But as we hear from Natalie Dixon, Humber College students beg to differ.
There are so many things that can identify a person as Canadian, whether it's the iconic Tim Hortons or just a simple Canadian maple donut. Or maybe it's the diversity Canada represents. Many students wear the red leaf proudly.
We know that our country's not perfect, but it's still one of the better countries to be in.
We're known as friendly, proud, open, and respectful. But according to a new poll, less than half of 18 to 34-year-olds said they were proud of Canada. Students here say the opposite.
Everyone's proud to be Canadian. Like, no one's afraid to be like, oh, I'm a Canadian when you go to like a different country and everything. Everyone's proud of like where they come from, and also everyone's so accepting, like anyone can come to Canada.
Student Henry cannot see why people would not be proud.
We are Canadians. We are known for peace. We are known for patriotism. We are known for our love. We love Canada. I mean, we love Canada more than any other country in the world. So.
Okay. No matter what identifies you as a Canadian, students here seem to be quite patriotic. Natalie Dixon, Humber News.
And what better way to show off that Canadian pride than by spending some time in the great outdoors, even if it's just your walk to school. Humber students are hitting the streets on this beautiful fall day for International Walk to School Day. Our reporter Claire Jenkins has the story.
Drivers look out. Today is International Walk to School Day. Today, all over the world, students and faculty are celebrating the benefits of walking to school. Humber Athletics representative Alex Tallman says he enjoys getting a chance to see the natural views on his way to campus.
You know, sometimes you get to see things like animals and stuff like that you never think you'd see. I know some people who walk through the Arb get to see the deer every day. I saw a coyote when I was walking through the Arb the other day too.
Other students are celebrating the health benefits of a morning walk.
It's a nice little release, nice little stress release for you after a long, hard day.
You get a second to yourself to think and relax, or not think at all. Depends what your day's like. But you get a moment of just, self and by yourself, and you don't have to worry about what's going on or who there's to talk to or conversation to upkeep. You just get to focus on whatever you feel like at that moment.
Not to mention, your wallet will thank you.
I know that there's a lot of people out there who are spending a lot of money on parking and cars and stuff like that. So I'd say most of all save money.
Some walks rally to improve safety on the streets, some for the environmental benefits, and others to promote a healthy lifestyle. Claire Jenkins, Humber News.
With the Thanksgiving break around the corner, Humber's culinary students are harvesting the fruit of their labors, hoping to pick some fresh flavors for the big meal. We go to Ruth Escarlon with more.
In partner with the Humber Arboretum and the School of Hospitality, Recreation and Tourism, Arboretum staff tend to the culinary garden where students can harvest produce to incorporate in their cooking.
We're always looking for sort of different connections within Humber and different departments of Humber, and culinary just happened to be an amazing fit.
Tom Quebec, an instructor for culinary management, says there's an educational purpose when harvesting produce.
One of the things that we use it for is for helping the students understand the connection between growing and producing and getting fresh ingredients from our local farmers. Basically, that you are our local farmers, and we like to visit and we like to talk about the ingredients with the students.
Culinary students use the produce in their labs and the Humber Room restaurant. Produce such as tomatoes, kale, strawberries, and peppers can be harvested in the garden.
Students from the culinary management program uses the produce from the culinary garden
to cook for the delicious food at the Humber Room. Ruthis Garland, Humber News.
When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Brittany Billette will have your 3-day forecast.
It'll be sunny these next couple of days, but you might be wondering if it'll hold up for Thanksgiving. After the break, I have your 3-day forecast and a look ahead to Holiday Monday.
But first, fans of the old TV series Gilmore Girls are rejoicing. Netflix has revived the beloved series, and Toronto got to be part of the big promotion. More than 250 coffee shops across North America were transformed into Luke's Diner overnight, 4 of them in Toronto. At the Rolling Pin in York Mills, fans lined up before sunrise for free coffee and the chance to win some swag. Some lucky fans even got free Netflix subscriptions. Employees were dressed to look like Luke Danes, the owner of the diner and one of the main characters from the show. The 4-part series premieres on Netflix midnight, November 25th.